Hi everyone, today we're going to review how to shape an argument. Since you're going to be writing a persuasive essay, it's very important that you realize the shape that your argument should take. So let's think about the basics of an academic argument. It's not a fight, it is logical, objective, and something that can be supported. These are three key items that you have to keep in mind whenever you're thinking of supporting details for your project. So let's take a look. Think about a seminar discussion and how that discussion helps develop ideas and helps you to express yourself. Let's take a look at the article by Quinn. In an argument, we typically go from the point furthest from our opinion to the points closest to our opinion. So we start with an introduction that gives basic background about the argument. And then think about the conclusion. The conclusion wants to summarize the points that we made in the introduction. It usually has to restate the thesis sentence. Start with things you disagree with and lead to things that you agree with. It's important that you brainstorm whenever you're thinking about your essay. You need to consider it from every side. This will help you to generate ideas, see different perspectives, develop your opinion, and to understand why people may disagree with you. So let's take a look at the prompt. It is better to live on campus than to live in town. Discuss why. Here are the things that you need to think about. What are the advantages of living on campus? What are the disadvantages? And the same thing for living in town. What's good about living in town and what's bad about living in town? So here you can think about town as either Taipa or Macau. Here are some examples. You might say that if you live on campus, it's convenient for you to go to class. Easy to meet your classmates. And there's a good internet connection. Well, most of the time anyway. But some disadvantages is that there's not a lot of choice when it comes to eating. And of course, not enough buses to get off campus. And not enough shops if you're one of those people who likes to shop like I do. So in town, there's more entertainment, there's more shopping, there's more food, lots of restaurants, and you can have your own private apartment if you have enough money. You don't have to share rooms. But it's busy, the buses are always really crowded whenever you want to come to class. And it's hard to arrange meetings with your classmates. And of course, it's more crowded and polluted. Not to mention expensive as well. So let's make connections between these ideas. So think about the pluses and the minuses, and think about ideas that support each other, and ideas that oppose each other. So let's take a look at our original list. Well, I see that, one is convenient for classes while one is convenient for restaurants. I have to decide which one's important to me. Little choice in food versus more choices in food, of course. Easy to meet classmates and hard to meet classmates. Hard to arrange meetings whenever you have projects or assignments that are due. So let's make your thesis sentence. Look at some of these. There are many advantages and disadvantages to living on campus. Is this a good thesis statement? No, it's weak. It doesn't contain any real information. Living on campus is very convenient. That's pretty weak too, because it doesn't really stay connected to the topic. It doesn't answer the question directly. Living on campus is preferable because it is more convenient. That's okay, but I still want to know more information. Convenient in what way? What's convenient about living on campus? So I would say that all three of these are still pretty weak thesis statements. How about number 4? Some students prefer to live on campus while others prefer to live in town. Yeah, that's still weak because we know that's true. We don't have to make that as part of our thesis statement. How about number 5? While there are benefits to living on campus, it's better to live in town. Still, it lacks detail. I think some people would agree with this, but we need to know the reasons why. So now it's your turn. Let's see if you could write a better thesis statement. Be sure to answer the question clearly and answer the question fully. Here are some activities that you can think about. If you have an introduction and you have that it's good to live on campus, and your conclusion is that it's good to live on campus, obviously that's weak. You haven't given the counter argument. You've only talked about why living on campus is positive. You haven't addressed the negative points to living on campus. Or you talk about the good reasons to live on campus and, look at here, the good reasons to live in town. Well, this is still weak because you've only mentioned the good points. You haven't mentioned any of the bad points about living on campus and living off campus in town. How about this one? It's good to live on campus and it's bad to live in town. Well, you might think so, but there's obviously some good points to living in town as well too, and you haven't talked about those yet. So in the next one, number 4, it's good to live in town. It's good to live on campus. Well, you've only changed the order that you introduced them. But probably you need to look at the negative side of living in town and on campus. How about this one? This looks more interesting. So it's bad to live in town, and then the good things about living in town. It's bad to live on campus, and then the good things about living on campus. So finally you conclude that it's good to live on campus. Yeah, that's better. At least I know that you've addressed all of the good points. However, the organization could be a little better. Why don't you change it to say that it's good to live in town first and then bad to live in town? So that would help to establish that town is not a good option. Here's one a little bit more detailed. So it's bad to live on campus. It's good to live in town. It's bad to live in town. It's good to live on campus. Okay, but it's a little bit confusing. So now it's your turn to think about what would be the best way to organize your essay. Remember, you want to go through the positive points and the negative points, and then you should conclude with whatever you agree would be the best way to solve the problem. Okay, good luck with your essay, and we hope that you all do well.